Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. Thanks so much for all of the positive feedback you guys have been giving for my brush lettering online course. It has been amazing seeing all the projects under AT Brush Lettering on Instagram. The community that we have in our private Facebook group has been awesome as well. So thank you all for joining in, and it's been a really great community of people coming together to express our love for brush lettering and really learn the techniques, and I'm glad you like my laid back approach, so I appreciate all the wonderful feedback from that. If you don't know what I'm talking about, please check the links below. I will have everything linked up so that you can sign up for the brush lettering class, which is only $29. I do want to catch up on a couple little things. I am so behind on editing videos. I have so much content from even back as far as last year, but I am going through and trying to figure out which videos I want to show you. A lot of the practice that comes from me putting together these videos was just shooting everything that I felt like shooting. Then it was a lot of work to kind of do the Traveler's Notebook field trip videos along with everything else that was going on. So I think the best way to do this is I do have a Palm Springs trip from February that has just been sitting there. I edited the actual video part of it of us on our trip, and then the crafting part I actually videoed, but then I don't know why I just put off editing it because so much other stuff was going on, which is a good thing, but this is stuff that I want to show you. So please bear with me. I do want to share so much with you, and I love all the feedback and the comments, and it's just been so fun connecting with you guys. I think that the best thing to do is maybe even establish a schedule. What do you think? Since I already post videos regularly, like twice a week, scheduling these days that I would come out with a new video, maybe like every Monday and Thursday or Tuesdays and Fridays. Please leave it in the comments below so that I can figure out a programming schedule and be all official, because it's been over a year since I've consistently put out content on this YouTube channel, and it's been so fun and rewarding, and it makes me so happy how you appreciate my positivity, and I just feel like that's one of the biggest compliments in the world, and also the fact that it inspires you to go out and create stuff and live your best creative life. That is the most important part of all of this, even if I am behind on editing. Okay, so that was a really long intro. I'm really sorry. I got these awesome Tombow markers, and I've been seeing a lot of these brush lettered projects with pens, but I don't feel very confident with them. I've probably played with these only a few times. I mean, like really a few times, because I just could not get the hang of it. So I want to share that journey with you guys, and really we can learn together. And I think that I want to apply the same kind of principles that I cover in my online brush lettering workshop and try to establish my own style with these Tombow brush pens. And I am going to make this a free download for everybody who signs up for my newsletter. I did this creative handbook last year, and so many of you guys are participating in that, but I really want to welcome the new people with something fun. So there's a free printable if you sign up for the newsletter, which also you get the free creative handbook. So check that link below, and I will make sure that you are in the know. We don't spam, and we don't really even send out emails that often, but when we do, there's a lot of good stuff in there. I think I'll probably put this in the same brush lettering and hand lettering series that I already have videos on. We'll just move to a different tool and try our hand at that. So let's letter together. I found this manifesto, which is something that I wrote out in 2014 when I began my brush lettering journey and really took it seriously, and wanted to just put something out there that was positive and also that I could practice with. So I just started to explore Pinterest, and I extracted some inspiring words and thoughts to create this manifesto that I sort of live by and really keep in the back of my head and also displayed. So I thought it'd be fun to experiment with these Tombows. Now, I really want to stress to you that I don't think that I am one of those people who is just naturally inclined to trying things and then having them work out. I really do think that I have to practice. So please bear with me, as you know, this is a new tool for me to use, and I think that my style will develop and grow, and I'll try to figure it out as I get more practice under my belt. So my first word on this page is simplify, which is kind of ironic because I tend to like a lot of things. I'm definitely an aspiring minimalist. So as you can see, I did my first word, and if I would have done it again, I probably would have moved it over to the right a little bit. So I'm just adding this period in its place. Now, choosing rainbow colors, I think, is one of the funnest parts of this process. And I think I had a few people ask me, why do you always do stuff in rainbow? I just really like the colors, and I know that it will look appealing as opposed to trying to mix in random colors here and there. I think that you should do whatever calls to you, whatever you feel like doing. I don't like that E at all. So clearly I need a lot of practice, but I'm using basically the same techniques that I tried to apply with the brush lettering with an actual paintbrush, which is thick on the downstroke, thin on the upstroke. And then I like the contrasting of the thick and the thins between letters, especially if they have, let's say, the same strokes over and over again. So I was trying to do that with the R, and I think it kind of turned out, but like I said, I think I just need to practice. What's nice about these markers when I'm just experimenting with them is that I feel like I can establish my own style with them. So even if I look at inspiration from other people who are, let's say, on the Tombow design team or just putting awesome stuff out there, I can really stay true to who I am by practicing and making sure that I apply my own hand lettering tendencies that I've learned and cultivated for many years. I love playing with markers and experimenting with different types of handwriting styles and hand lettering. And I love that I'm able to do this pretty much, as part of my job. I feel really grateful for that. And I don't think that everybody necessarily loves their handwriting or even thinks it's an enjoyable process, but I do. And I do believe that everybody has their own style, and it is something that you can definitely hone in, practice, and develop. Ooh, I like that O. See how the left side is really thick and then the right side is really thin? I try to do the same thing with that U. And I think that even now, just with practicing a few words, I feel like I'm getting more of the hang of it. Even if I have to lift the brush, ooh, that E is pretty good. That E is way better than the previous E's. And I know it sounds silly, but I like to really kind of reward myself when there's either a word or a letter that I am drawn to and that I think has turned out nicely. I think that it's important to give yourself praise and to be proud of what you create. Now, I'm doing this one in capital letters because I think that this part of it really should be emphasized. And I don't love the way that N turned out. Another thing people tend to do is maybe you hesitate to even approach this because you are a perfectionist and you want to do it in pencil first and then go over it with marker. I think that's a fine practice, but for me personally, what was that? What was that noise? Was that my computer? Sorry about that. For me personally, I really think that it's important to just give yourself grace. And if you're limited on time and you're making excuses as far as, oh, I don't have time to practice, or I'm not really good at that. I think the thing is to, silence that voice, that inner critic, and really focus on the fact that you can do these things. I'm just checking the next line here, which is why I've paused for a second. But I do think that it's really important to, give yourself that grace and really be kind to others, but also, get this, be gentle with yourself. I think as we navigate through our creative journeys, we will find roadblocks. We'll, have that awful thing where we compare ourselves to others, which just, I think if it moves you in a way to challenge yourself to be better, I think it's okay to look at other people's work and kind of compare yourself. I mean, the way I look at it is if somebody does something amazing with, let's say, brush lettering, because that's our topic right now, I admire it. I think that's amazing and good for them. I think that's so cool, and that they've been able to create a style that's all their own and something that, you know, people want to emulate. But I personally want to put my own twist on these things, and I never want to put other creatives down. I think the more creativity that we can spread, the better it is for everybody. So here I decided to mix it up the other way by starting off with lowercase, mix, and then put adventure in capital letters. And I think this series will be really fun because I want to hear from you guys, your tips and tricks and things that you do, because maybe some of those things could apply to me. And as we share our ideas and revelations, I think that as a community, we can only get better. So I'd never thought that I'd be playing with markers for work. But I did that a few years ago, and scrapbooking for work, and, you know, really playing with paper. So I think that this journey is going to be really fun. I'm excited to play with more Tombows. This video is not sponsored by Tombow at all. It's something that I really wanted to try to do because I've seen so much cool, inspiring quotes floating around Pinterest and Instagram, and I just really wanted to try my hand at it. So I hope you liked seeing how this came together. That's something that I always try to practice too, is gratitude. I think that really helps in this whole journey of living a creative life. Hope you enjoyed seeing how this came together. If you have any tips or tricks you'd like to share about lettering or fun marker memories, please leave them in the comments below. If you'd like more info on the online workshop that I mentioned, check out the link and sign up for our newsletter for the free download of this quote. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you feel inspired to get those creative juices flowing. Sometimes I stand on my tippy toes, and then sometimes I don't, so if I'm bouncy, that's why. This is ridiculous.